Okay. Welcome to Ready, Set, Collaborate podcast. But I am actually I have started my series on the book collaboration. I am so honored to have my guest that has a wealth of knowledge that you guys are going to just be blown away. Polly. Polly is actually a person I just met, but I feel like we've been friends for a long time, Polly,
No
right?
kidding. Yeah, I better be invited to your house for Christmas next year.
Oh yeah, you will have a lot of fun. I tell you,
Okay.
we like to have fun. We like to dance. I mean, down to my grandkids, to me, and they know this Nana likes to have fun. So, but I love it. But no, thank you so much for joining me and helping us to get the myths of you're going to teach us some pitfalls of
Yeah.
self-publishing, and you're going to teach us the different options in publishing. So thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it. But before I get started, I want to actually make sure people subscribe, like, and share the podcast, Ready, Set, Collaborate, because you're going to get a wealth of knowledge from a lot of the experienced entrepreneurs that actually have been through this journey. So, but thank you, Polly. But Polly, let me tell them a little bit about you. So when Polly Letofsky wrote her book, 3MPH, and I got that book too. Thank you so much for writing that. The Adventures of One Woman's Walk Around the World, and got ripped off in the publishing world. It launched her into starting a new publishing model that protects authors. Thank you. You should have been around a long time ago, Polly.
Mm-hmm.
In 2012, she started My Word Publishing, a publishing model that interrupted the publishing world by helping authors professionally self-publish their books while maintaining 100% of all their rights. My Word Publishing has now grown into a publishing library of over 900 books. Wow. 4 publishing consultants, 45 editors, and has recently been submitted into the U.S. Congressional Record for interrupted the established, established, established publishing world and helping authors protect their rights. I love this, Polly, because you really say everything right here in these sentences. Though I advise you to get her book 3MP, 3 miles per hour, the adventures of one woman's walk around the world. So Polly, tell us a little bit about yourself. I mean, you told me something, but I want the world to know exactly what you're doing here, how you got to this point.
Okay, I'll try to do this in a couple paragraphs, but it
Okay.
started from the age of 12, believe it or not, when I got this dream to go walk around the world. Finally, at the age of 37, I left, and yeah, I learned how to write on the road. Okay, right when this thing called the internet was coming out. No one had a website except me. I was so cool, right? So I learned how to write, and it took 5 years, across 4 continents, 22 countries, and over 14,000 miles.
Mhm.
Over the course of that time, I won a couple of writing contests, like who knew, and learned how to write. Anyway, I got done with that walk, submitted took 6 years to finish writing the book, and then handed it over to a crooked publisher. And that's when I started to learn a lot about publishing and watched as people continued to make the same mistakes that I was making. And that's what I want to talk to you about here today. So people, learn from my $15,000 mistake. Isn't that horrible?
Wow.
Yeah. So anyway, I finally got out of that situation. I didn't really legally get out of that situation. My attorney said, "Run for your life." I said, "Okay." and and I thought, well, now what? So I had to figure out how to do self-publishing by myself. And that happened to be at the very beginning of the self-publishing explosion. And so I did that for a couple of years, just helping people, finished my own book. And then I started helping other people under My Word Publishing. And it took off from the beginning because I think my timing in history with the new industry was right, and started helping people stop making the mistakes that I make because they're dangerous and expensive and not necessary anymore in today's world.
Wow. And I'm glad we had someone like you because you learn from experience. And the problem is you learn the expensive way from experience. And it's a
Yeah.
shame because you don't know who's honest, who's truthful. And you know what, Polly, the biggest thing is integrity. Integrity means so much to me. A lot of people don't have that integrity, anymore. So thank you for sharing it. That really does make a big difference. So, but I want you to tell us about the options in publishing. And you're going to give us that publishing 101 lesson.
Yeah. And there are four major kinds of publishing. One is traditional publishing. I'm going to give you the pros and cons to that in a second. And the second option is the small independent press. Pros and cons to that. Pros and cons to all of them. The third one is the subsidy press, subsidy publishing. Subsidy meaning you're subsidizing, you're giving them the money, okay? And if you were to Google how to self-publish a book, these subsidy publishing companies are the ones that come up. The giveaway is if they have packages, the platinum package, the gold package, and there's no flexibility and all the rest of it. And ooh, that gets my goat. And then the fourth option is true independent publishing. Pros and cons to all of them. The pros and cons to the traditional model is that you don't have to spend money, okay? And so your learning curve is a lot less aggravating because they're taking care of everything and they know their way around the system. The cons to that are you ain't gonna get a deal. You know, hate to be Debbie Downer, but a true independent or a true professional traditional publishing house will give you an advance. That is their investment in you, okay? You have to do all the marketing. Every time I give a class on publishing, I'll say, how many want a traditional publishing deal because they'll do your marketing? All the hands go up. I'm like, well, I hate to burst your bubble, but it has never been the case. It's never been the case. Okay, so people are like, well, Michelle Obama's not out there marketing her book. And I say, yes, she is. And she has the big platform, therefore they're going to put money towards that. Okay. That's one of the big downfalls is you're doing all the work. These days you're going to get very little advance. And of course, very, very small chance you're going to get a deal today. Okay. So the pros to the next one, which is the small independent publisher, the good news is they'll take almost anybody. Okay. The bad news is plenty. Is you're not going to get an advance. A lot of times this model, there are different variables within, but I've seen the model many times where no, you don't get an advance, but equally you don't have to pay for any of the services up front, but then you don't make anything on your book either. So the bottom line in all of this is that there's nothing they can do for you that you can't do yourself today. Nothing.
Yeah.
Bring it. I promise there's nothing they don't have special relationships with distributors. There's nothing that they can do for you that you can't do yourself today. The subsidy publishing model, the pros are, it's a one-stop shop. You're on the internet going, I'll take that and that and that and that. Bring, here's your receipt and pay for it. The bad news is plenty, however. You might, not all of these companies take your copyrights, but some let you have your copyrights and some don't. Okay, great. But the cons are plentiful. And that is that whoever owns that ISBN on the back of your book, ISBN, the 13-digit code that represents your book, it's your book's identification number. Whoever owns that owns your sales and distribution rights. Okay, maybe not your copyrights, but your sales and distribution rights. And what that means is all of the sales go through them, and every 6 months they distribute your portion of the royalties. Okay, no one's ripping you off. They're taking their portion. They're giving you a portion. No one's ripping you off, but there is a much better way. Okay, so that's what I tell people. There's just bad decisions, and then there's being ripped off. They're not ripping you off. It's just a bad decision. There's a much better way to do it. You should own all your copyrights, sales rights, distribution rights, foreign rights, digital rights, everything. You should own it. Okay, and so they own it. Okay, and their printing costs are 4 times, not even exaggerating. I might be known for exaggerating a few times, but this I am not exaggerating. It's literally 4 times the cost of just doing it yourself. So that's where they're making their money, on the printing of the book. So the fourth way is true independent publishing. And the pros are you get to make all the decisions. You get, 100% of rights and royalties, decision making. The cons are, of course, you've never done it before. So what do you know? Right. And frankly, that's where I know we're not here to, just advertise myself, but that's what people like me come in. Okay. So we come in and we do everything that a publisher does, but we maintain no ownership. Okay.
Mhm.
So we manage everything for you because there are many pitfalls, even though, you're doing it right.
Mhm.
The pitfalls are aplenty, and we can talk about those, but I don't
Mhm.
want to overwhelm you, so we can breathe for a minute.
No, and no, exactly. I want you to tell because you are talking about what you can do as far as what makes it easier for people, like your business, what you do. But with mine, what I did, going through 2 collaboration books that I've had, That's His Shine and Impact of One Voice, I said I want to do my own. So I did my own, and I actually had my checklist. I did my copyright, I did my own ISBN, and then I went through KDP. So what do you think about going through KDP? I mean, I get my own, I order my books from them, but if
Mhm.
they do buy them from Amazon, I do get a portion of what they sell, for me on Amazon. What do you think about that?
Big advocate of KDP. And for those who don't know, KDP is Kindle Direct Publishing. It is
Yeah.
Amazon's publishing arm. So yes, I like those. There's always a debate in my world as to, who's better, KDP or Ingram Spark, because those are the two big
Hmm.
print on demand self-publishing options. And we like both. And I don't have an allegiance to one. I don't work for one. I don't get kickback from nobody. But
Yeah.
I usually fall on the side of KDP
Hmm.
for a number of reasons. But yes, I do think that's the way to go. One thing I'd like to clear up that I hear all the time is KDP your publisher. No, the publisher is the person, entity who is putting together all the pieces.
Hmm.
Okay, they are the producer. A publisher is a producer of books, right? So KDP is your printer and
Right.
distributor, fulfillment platform.
Right.
You are the publisher. So all the books we've worked on, 900 books,
Hmm.
and our author is always the publisher.
Hmm.
We are sort of the project manager. So we're doing everything, but everything is in their name.
Yeah.
We will present them an option. And so I'll tell people in advance, sometimes there's an option,
Hmm.
A or B, and it's just an opinion. But sometimes there is, this is the way to do it. It's just like, I gotta
Yeah.
be,
Yeah.
tough guy in that. And sometimes there's legalities. No, you can't use the lyrics in the
Yeah. 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 You
book,
got to be careful
etc.
about
So,
that.
but if it's an option, I'll just say I happen to like this color better. And there's nothing right or wrong about it.
Well, I love it because actually, at least what I did right.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. You didn't have to go down the painful route that
No,
I did.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah. And it was great because actually I was a publisher. I copyrighted it myself.
that's my girl.
And then I went through KDP to actually, print it for me.
Yes,
And
yes.
the good thing about it was all in the family. So my daughter created my book cover. So I already had the book cover done. And my son-in-law, who's my graphic designer, he actually did my editing. No, I had another lady, Mary Marvella. She actually did my editing, and then he did the formatting. So it was
Okay.
all in the family that I brought it all together, and I'm just glad that it turned out the way it did. So thank you so much. I wanted to try the self-publishing mode because I tried it 2 times with the collaboration, and it's great because they got me out to do what I'm doing. I would never have written a book at all if I had not started with the collaboration. So,
Yeah.
but thank you for that. I appreciate it. So let me ask you something. So by you doing that, and I really love your business, and really I would love for people to contact you and what you're doing. But how did you handle the marketing and promotion of the book? Do you do that, especially when you're considering multiple authors? If you've done book collaboration.
Right. Great question. So, as I mentioned before, no one will do your marketing for you as far as the traditional houses. I mean, big deal with Simon and Schuster, Penguin. No one will do your marketing for you. It's the one mistake I didn't make. So, I knew no matter what, I'd have to do my own marketing.
Yeah.
But equally, I felt bad just sending our authors into the universe without a plan at all. I happen to
Yeah.
like book marketing. I had done it. I'd kept track with this little Word document, bullet pointed list on how to,
Mhm.
you know.
Mhm.
And over the years, I just kept adding to it, and then I started, making designs out of it, and then eventually I came up with Buzz, your super sticky book marketing plan, right?
Oh,
And here's the
okay.
thing. It's Buzz Your Super Sticky Bookmark. And this is the 4th edition because, of course, these services are
Okay.
changing constantly, right?
Okay.
And you'll see it's big and fat and
Yeah.
colorful. I was trying anything to
Yeah.
make it not overwhelming, very doable, you know?
Yeah.
Because when I started in on the marketing part of my book publishing process, I ordered all the books and they come back with like hundreds of pages and just blocks and blocks of content. And it was so overwhelming. I never opened them a second time.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so once I got my head around it, I started creating my own and just sharing it with our authors. And then,
That's
of course,
awesome.
now I share it with everybody. But what we do, if you're an author of ours, I guess you don't even have to be an author of ours. You can
Mhm.
we have what's called a book marketing consultation. So we sit down 3 different 1-hour sessions and we make a plan together, because book marketing is sort of this magical intersection of who is your target demographic, of course, right?
Mhm.
What is your happy place?
Mhm.
So for example, if your target demographics all hanging out on Instagram and you hate Instagram,
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
not going to do it.
Yeah.
So it's the intersection of where your target demographic is, what you enjoy doing, and your budget, of course. The good news is there's a lot of free
Mhm.
marketing tools these days, a lot of them. And so, yay.
That helps. And I advise people to get Holly's Buzz. Is it called Buzz?
Yeah, Buzz, right, Buzz your super sticky book. This is it just came out. So this is the latest version. You'll see this is the proof, but that's mine too.
Yeah. Oh,
Fuss
that's
over.
awesome. That's awesome. And I'm sure they can get that off your website, right? I mean, she has it right there. My Word Publishing right in background there. So yeah,
Yeah, mywordpublishing.com. If someone's interested, there is a freebie called bookmarketingcalendar.com. Go to bookmarketingcalendar.com, and I
okay.
have everything, all your tasks to do for the first 6 months of your book.
Wow. Wow.
Marketingcalendar.com. So
Okay. Okay.
yeah.
I wish you were around when I was doing mine, so I could had all these here. But I mean, it didn't take me long. When I said I made a commitment, I want to get my book out, and I actually launched it this year. Well, and I'm sorry, this year is 2024, isn't it? 2023. So when I launched it, but I was going through step by step. So I feel good that I actually followed what you were saying to do, and I did it. So
Yes, you did. And
that was
sometimes
great.
there are a lot of pitfalls. And when I talk to people sometime, I'm like, no, you're way ahead of the game. You did not make the horrible mistakes I did.
Hmm.
So congratulations. And usually mistakes are just things they haven't done yet or things we just
Yeah,
need to tweak.
yeah, yeah.
But
Yeah. No, that's great. So I wanted the pitfalls of self-publishing. Give us some pitfalls of self-publishing.
yeah, one of the biggest pitfalls we see is doing things in the wrong order.
Mm.
Okay. So here's an example. As someone the other day just said to me, yeah, I went to layout, I went to formatting, so I want to go to editing next. It's like, whoa, 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 hold on there, sweetie. Back it up. You got to go to editing first. Okay.
Absolutely.
So we see that all the time. They're doing
Oh
things in
my
the
God.
wrong order. Someone actually put it up on they did the whole book by themselves, put it up on Amazon, and
Mhm.
their theory was, I just want to go and get some sales and then I'll come back and do it right.
Oh
Well,
no.
that's just going to bite them in the ass, and did, because here's what happens is you can't take reviews off Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
So the reviews said great information, but he really needed to get an editor and a proper layout designer. And
Mm-hmm.
all the reviews are saying that.
Yeah.
He can't take them down.
Yeah.
So the wrong order is a big pitfall. Can I tell you another pitfall?
Yes, please.
Is when you hear the word free,
Mm-hmm.
okay? I want to respect your wallet,
Yeah.
okay? I honestly do. But when you hear the word free, it's coming at a cost
Yeah.
of something. It's a cost of, skill set or limitations, okay?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So just be careful of them. And if you're okay with those limitations,
Yeah.
like you can do this layout design for free. Okay. Polly said, be careful of the word free.
Yeah.
That's right. So what is the limitation in that? Limitation is in your design elements. And how advanced can you get? How professional can you get? Does it look like a free version?
Yeah.
Okay. Gosh, another pitfall is you do not do your layout for a book
Mhm.
in a Word document.
Yeah.
Don't think we can't tell.
Yeah.
We can tell at a glance.
I know. I know. Oh my
Yeah.
God. Yeah, I did mine in Google Docs that my editor was able to go in and edit and take things out. And even like when it was formatted. So yeah, you learn from experience, but yeah. So give us another pitfall.
Okay.
I know you got some.
A pitfall is we get this all the time. We'll say it's in editing, okay, is
Mhm.
the broad category of this, but we'll get it all the time because when we start working with someone, we'll say, tell us about your editing. Have you done any at all? Oh yeah, editing's done. I'm like, editing's done. Okay. Can you tell me about that? Well, my sister, she's a school teacher. She edited it. Hmm. Okay, well, that's not a professional editor. And depending on your goals, okay, that might be fine for your
Yeah.
goals. I guarantee you it's not a professional edit,
Yeah.
okay? And it might be okay for you and your goals to have your school teacher neighbor do it, but you got to know Chicago Manual Style. You're going to get hit in contests, you're going to get hit in reviews.
Mhm.
I had these two people who were reporters at the Los Angeles Times. They did a book together. And they are editors by default, kind of, because they'd been in the business so long. And I
Mhm.
said, can I just swing it past our editor? I just want to see, because these guys were going for it, full on professional, making a career out of it. So they don't want to take shortcuts. They said, yeah, show it to her.
Mhm.
It was just red marked, like page 3,
Yeah, okay.
and they're like, okay, I get it, I get it. I get it. So that's what I mean. It's like there's good enough, and then there's
Wow.
professional. So
Professional.
we see that all
Exactly.
the time. And
Exactly. And it makes a big difference because you want it to be professional because that's you. That's your face of your book. So you want to make sure that you got the right setup here.
it is.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, oh, so go
Go
ahead.
ahead. No, no, no. Go ahead. I know you
Okay.
got
Another
some more.
pitfall is kind of what we talked about already is giving away your rights and not realizing it. Okay. So
Mm,
I want you, the author, to own all your rights and royalties.
yeah.
And so you don't, my fantasy world is to not have anyone own anybody's rights. I mean, you heard about the Taylor Swift thing. We've all heard about Michael Jackson buying out Paul McCartney's rights.
Mhm,
Prince, as an example,
mhm,
they took his rights. Um, and all of those were quote unquote legal, just
mhm.
dumb. And that's what I'm saying here. There's no reason in the world anymore why you can't own your own rights.
Yeah.
And so we're in a world today where you don't have to have someone else
Mhm.
publish your book for you and you can become the publisher. So that's our model, is to have someone else be or have you be your own publisher. Here's a book as an example. Okay, so she has her publishing company. That's her ISBN that is associated with that. We put
Mhm.
it here, we put it on the copyright page, and that's the case for all of our books.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's
we don't,
that's
our name is nowhere on our books except if they choose to put us in the acknowledgements
acknowledgments,
afterward.
right, right. And that's great. I'm glad that you have this out here for people who want to write a book, who not sure of write a book. So what are the different models of publishing? You may have already said some already, but the different models of publishing, what would you suggest?
Yeah, the different models are, so that traditional publishing, they own your rights and royalties. They are giving you an advance. And that
Mhm,
advance is they are purchasing your material, your copyrights.
mhm,
Therefore, they get, it's an investment for them.
mhm,
So they get the final decision making,
mhm,
you know,
mhm.
it's over. So when I just hear, I want to be very emphatic about that because I hear it all the time when people say they didn't do anything to market my book. And um, well, you have to market your own book,
Yep.
but you're giving all your rights away. And
Mhm,
here's the thing is you're not making much money out of it.
mhm.
$20,000 advance is a pretty good deal these days for a first time unknown author, and you're not actually getting $20,000.
Right.
Can I do
Right.
the math for a second?
Yeah.
I'll try to make it easy for non-math people, but
Yeah.
if they agree on a $20,000 advance,
Uh-huh.
the agent gets 15%, at least, sometimes 20. We'll just say 15% of it, okay? So
Mhm.
20,000 minus 15, what that's $3,000, okay?
Mhm.
Uncle Sam's gonna get 25 to 30%,
Yep.
all right? So that $20,000 advance, you are actually getting about what, 11, 12,000,
Mhm.
okay? You
Wow.
have to earn back the 20,000.
Mm.
That, so the advance is an advance on your royalties, and it's an advance. And so you need to earn that back. So you actually get, say, 11, 12,000, but you got to earn back the 20,000 at
Yeah.
increments of roughly 60 to 75 cents. You
Yeah.
have to go do all that work. You follow me? And
Yeah.
you are expected to do the marketing. So that traditional publishing model is not good for authors anymore. You have to do all the work. You get very little money.
Mhm.
And even if I could go a step further, that 11, 12,000 is broken up into 3 parts over the course of, say, 3 years. It's just not worth it.
No, because you gotta sell a lot of books. So
Just
you
a lot of
definitely
books.
you need a marketing to help you sell those books. And yeah, I know about advance, advance as far as that. So
So
that
that's one model. And then the second model is that
yeah,
small independent press. And I hate to be Debbie Downer, I really do. It makes me sound all negative when I talk about all these options, but I would say, please just learn from my horrible mistake. It was so expensive. That's what I want to give back anyway. And I want to sort of become an advocate for authors, but the small indie press,
mm-hmm.
they are doing that old fashioned model where, you know, they're either just producing the book and not giving an advance,
Yeah,
and the model just doesn't work. So what happens? They go out of business. And I'm telling you, Wanda, I see it all day, every day. I must get a email twice a month or something about I published my book with, who's he, what's it publishing,
yeah.
and just got notice that they're out of business. They
Wow,
can't get their
wow,
files back, so
oh
they have to
wow.
start over all the time.
And
So
they
that's
probably
not a good
paid them.
model.
No, it's not. And then they already probably paid into it already. They paid them the money, right?
Right, so they've already paid for that, because people always say, well, I have my manuscript. Well, yeah, now you got to do the layout again, you got to do the cover again,
Mm-hmm.
etc. And sometimes you can get those files, sometimes, not
Mm-hmm.
all the time.
Yeah,
Sometimes you have to pay for the files. We're dealing with this right now again,
yeah.
trying to get files back from a publishing company that is either rotten or
Mm-hmm.
has gone out of business entirely. So that's another model. And then a third model is that kind of subsidy publishing where you just pay and order what you want. Click, 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 click. Yeah, I need editing, click. I need cover, click. I need,
Yeah.
And another one of those cons for that is just that they're beginner service providers. You're
Yeah.
not talking to them, it's not collaborative. You're not joining forces. They're just doing it, sending it back, and almost like a
Mhm.
conveyor belt is what I envision.
Wow.
Those are
That
some models.
you have just given us so much, God, and so much information. And I really want people to reach out to you because those models, the pitfalls and options in publishing is something that we don't think about when I want to write a book. And then people do it. So when they saw that I wrote my book, I mean, this is my third, but the other two are collaboration. Well, Wanda, how did you do that? And I just followed the process, I just followed, I went on my checking mark, like, okay, let me get copyright. I want to make sure well, first of all, I made sure my name was Ready, Set, Collaborate. I did GoDaddy, where I actually own my own
Oh,
name.
good. Yeah.
And then I went to copyright because it was another writer. She told me she said, wanted this is how, so she gave me a checklist. And that's how I was able to do it. So, but it takes time, but at the same time, you'll be happy when it's all done. Right, Polly?
Well, if you're gonna do it, if you want a professional book, you need to get professionals involved, and
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, you really do. I was keeping
I
my
would
time.
urge anyone to certainly, reach out to us. There's a lot of information on our website. It's mywordpublishing.com, but certainly someone can reach out to me. We can just, have a chat. And that's Polly at mywordpublishing.com. Polly is Polly. Don't know how they got that name. but there you go.
I love it. I love it. Yeah. You are just a wealth of knowledge and the energy that you have. I love it, as far as you telling us this. And I'm glad you're part of this series, the book collaboration, because I had some of the authors, actually the one who actually was part of the collaboration, but I wanted to give people another option of other parts of ways of doing publishing your own book. And Polly has it all. I mean, I wish I knew you before, Polly. So
Yeah, well, we'll have to talk to the guy above here when we get done.
yeah.
Should have stepped on that a little earlier there.
Definitely, definitely. So Polly, I know you gave us your information, but share your information again, how people can contact you again.
Yeah, if you want to set up a consultation, meaning just let's talk about it, polly@mywordpublishing.com.
Mhm.
And our website is full of information. It's mywordpublishing.com.
Yeah,
And let's talk. Let's help you get your book out into the world.
yeah. Right in the back of her wall. You can see it right there. No mistake. My Word Publishing.
My Word Publishing.
That's right, .com. So, but thank you so much for being a part of this, my podcast, Ready, Set, Collaborate, in my second series of book collaboration. So, and this was episode 16, The Art of Book Collaboration. I want to make sure that everyone subscribe to my YouTube channel, WD Pierce Associates, all of those. And probably this is going to be on the video on YouTube as well, once we air your episode. And make sure you subscribe, like, and share. Share.
I will. I will.
I know you will, girl. I thank you so much for that.
You're precious. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thanks again for having. So my next episode, stay tuned because we got some great information on Ready, Set, Collaborate, but the book collaboration. Stay tuned for the next one. Thank you.